Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now on today's video, we are going to go through a warm-up routine that I do daily. It's called a squat snack. It's basically, if you've been following me on Instagram for a while, you'll know that I love doing snacks throughout the day. Movement snacks, squat snacks, handstand snacks, all kinds of mini sort of workouts that pack a punch in terms of mobility and movement, but they don't require much time, much equipment or much space. So these squat snacks are designed to just keep us in this squat position as much as possible. As you all know, I'm a big advocate of incorporating daily resting or passive squatting into your routines. So if you're not doing that, you should be doing that, because that alone is just going to improve your mobility in your ankles, your knees, your spine, and just improve your squatting pattern overall. So we take this one step further and we sort of move through the squat position, which is going to help improve our spine mobility, our shoulders, our hips, our knees, everything. So this is what I do to warm up. This is what I do in the middle of the day when I need to release some things that might be tight from sitting a lot, and it's going to really benefit you. So what you're going to do is you're going to start in this squat position. If you can't currently support yourself in this position, you can elevate your heels onto a small slant or 2 blocks and just position yourself there. So from that squat position, I just like to shift weight. And I do this for 10 to 20 reps just to kind of loosen up and lubricate my hips, my knees, my ankles, and get ready for that movement. Once you've done 20, you're going to grab one ankle, you're going to dig the opposite shoulder into the knee, and you're going to rotate your spine. So this one, you're going to feel all through the upper back, through the side of your spine here, through your shoulders, through your lats. And the aim is to touch the floor with your elbow eventually, not yet, and then twist and rotate all the way up with a dynamic sort of movement. And you're going to repeat this for 10 reps. And then on the 10th rep, you're going to pause 10 seconds. Now, the reason why we like to pause on every sort of 10th rep is because this is your end range of motion, and holding this in an isometric position, whether it's a squat, whether it's a splits, whatever it is, it's going to really improve that strength. So holding that for 10 seconds in the extended range and then changing to the other side. And the reason that I'm grabbing onto my ankle and pushing into the other knee is so that I can create resistance with my body. So all of these movements that you're doing, you're creating resistance by pushing and pulling with opposing muscles or body parts, which is going to help you increase that range of motion. So I rotate onto the other side for 10 reps, and you can see that I'm not really resting through any of the movements. It's sort of like a HIIT workout, but better, because you're just moving through these mobility ranges, and with each rep, you should get more and more range. So I complete 10, and then I hold for 10 seconds in the last repetition. So I know there's a countdown on my reps. Forgive me if I miss a few as I'm talking. It probably can be 8 or 9 sometimes, but you make sure that you're doing 10. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm not resting, I'm taking my elbows, I'm driving my knees out. Okay, so you can see how I'm pushing my elbows and really using the strength of my upper body to push my knees out. So I'm feeling this in the adductors, in the hips. Everything is sort of moving. It's almost like a cardio workout, to be honest with you. I do 10 and I pause for 10 seconds, really digging my elbows into there. Don't worry if you don't currently have the range of motion. It will get better. Just work with what you currently have. As soon as I'm done with that, I'm going to place one hand on my knee, the other shoulder into my knee again, and I'm going to push that out. And as I push my knee, I shift my weight the opposite direction, and I come back in. Push, come back in. So you see how I'm really dynamically moving my body? Everything is getting worked at the same time, you guys. There's not a joint that's not getting strained here. And with each single rep, I'm increasing that range of motion more and more. So we're going to go 8, so I don't lose count, 9, and then again, we pause 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten that elbow, change sides. And you're always going to feel one side tighter than the other, which is normal. That's why we always like to train unilateral movements in our programs because they really help to rebalance the body. 6, 7, I use that arm to push. 8, 9, and on my 10th rep, I'm gonna pause. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Amazing. Let me just make sure my mic is switched on. Good. Now we're gonna move into internal rotation. So from your squat position, you're gonna drive the knee forward into internal rotation. Okay, this might be difficult for some of you. Work within your current range. Your aim is to get this back heel, the blade of the foot flat on the ground, shin flat on the ground, knee touching the ground. And you're gonna move through that position. So use your hands, do what you gotta do to maintain nice upright position, and then shift weight. The more weight that you press into that heel, the more resistance you get in pushing down, and you're gonna feel it all through that hip joint there. 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I'm going to pause in that last rep. I'm moving quite fast through these positions. You can take your time, go slow, explore the movement, don't rush through it. The point is not to rush, the point is to really move with quality and range of motion. I switch to the other side. So you can see I'm working that internal range. 3, 4, feeling it where it's tight, placing more pressure where it's tight so you can release. 8, and you can see it's all done through that squat position, no stopping. Pause for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back it out. From there, I'll go sideways so you can see me better. Again, no stopping, straight into the next one. You're going to go up onto your toes. So this is amazing for your ankles, for your hips. I believe that most of you guys, if you haven't stopped, you're going to be burning by now. Hips are burning, quads are burning, everything is burning. Just absorb it, embrace it, and keep going. 7, I try to get really high onto my tippy toes. 9, and then I'm going to hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to let you rest, but not really rest. So you're just going to straighten those legs now. It should feel like things are loosening up. And from there, you're just going to go down. So up, straighten the legs, come back down. If you can't place your hand on the floor, place a block in front of you and use that block to help. So we're going to go through 10, just really releasing the hamstrings there in that position, and then curling back under. 7, 8, 9, and hold that position with locked knees. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hamstrings should feel quite tight there for some of you. You might be here. That's okay, work with what you have. After we've completed that, back down into your squat. You had enough rest. You're gonna shift the knees out. So from your squat, I go up onto my toes, I drive the knee towards the floor, I stretch out the hip, I come back. Go slow with this, especially if you've had knee issues, right? So you wanna go nice and smooth. If you need to use your hands to help. It's about gliding and smooth transitions. So I'm just gonna do 5 on each side, 10 reps, stretching out those hips. You wanna work on your sissy squats. This is a progression towards it, learning how to extend that hip through that full range of motion, placing weight onto the knee. Once you're done 10, you're gonna grab your ankles. So you're in a bit of a wider squat now. You're gonna grab your ankles and you're gonna try to touch your head to the ground, okay? It's probably not gonna happen now, but the intention is what matters. And here I'm really rounding my spine, pulling nice and tight into my ankles, and almost like a pendulum, I'm releasing all the built up over hundreds of years. Oh, not hundreds, but a lot of years for you guys. Maybe even 20 years for some of you of lack of movement and neglect. So we move through this for 10 reps, and then we pause for 10 seconds in this last repetition. We're really rounding that spine, stretching it out. Okay, so if you haven't taken a rest, you should know that by now you're feeling it, right? It's almost like a cardio workout. After I've done that, I'm gonna stand up a little bit again into a wide straddle, and I'm just gonna side to side. So I keep my legs locked and I'm reaching over, touching the opposite leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And what I always like to finish off in my squat routines is just a little bit of a wrist mobility. So fingers facing me, I just take steps like I'm walking backwards in place, shifting on the balls of my feet, going onto the backs of my hands. Oftentimes we don't really stretch out those wrists at all. We don't stretch out the forearms. So just placing them in different directions, as you can see. And even whilst I'm doing this, I'm exploring movement because I'm trying to be delicate. I pay attention to the way that I place my palm on the floor. And you can see that over time, things will become prettier and you're going to display more quality in your movements. I'm just going to finish off with a stretch of the forearm. So I place my fingers back to face me and I drive my elbow towards the ground. Okay, so you might not reach the ground right now, that's okay. So go as far as you can. And you're just gonna do 5 on one side, hold for 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 5 on the other side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's your snack. And that's literally all I do to warm up, guys. You can do 2 rounds of that to make it even more intense, but there's really, no need. If you're a beginner especially, or if you're doing this before you're training, 1 round is going to really, really help you feel some good changes in those joints to the point where you feel like you've had a good workout. I suggest you incorporate these routines daily. Doesn't take much time. As I said, you only need your body, and the most important thing to remember is move through the positions without resting and try to display more and more range and quality of movement with each repetition. So we have a lot of sort of vlog style workouts on our YouTube where we go and we show you our daily workouts. You can incorporate some of those exercises into this as well. So just try to find your own little flow, your own little style and things you need to work on. And the more that you do this stuff, the more you incorporate mobility training, the more benefits you'll see, guys, And again, one more most important thing to remember, mobility training should be approached like strength training. So it's less about passive stretching, it's less about activation drills and isolated mobility drills, and it's more about learning how to move your body through a full range of motion, learning how to strengthen that range of motion with external load, and then learning how to use that newfound range of motion to move your body through space. So locomotive patterns, floor work, rolling along the ground, playing different sports, living daily life with freedom and with ease. That's the key. And that's what mobility will give you. So enjoy this, repeat it again and again. I suggest you do it daily for a few weeks alongside your resting squats, accumulated time throughout the day, and you're gonna see amazing, amazing benefits. Enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video.